going on, Sneep? My name is Gabe, and today is Monday, which means it's Market Monday. Let's recap this week's news to see what might be moving the market in certain ways and why things are growing in value. First, I want to say last week was a crazy week with having the Pro Tour, the calling, all the spoilers, the announcements, and that is still trickling into this week. There's a lot of hype going around for this upcoming road to Nationals. That's going to start in about 2 weeks, and people are going to be playing to qualify for the national tournament. So that's a big deal for any local scene. So you'll get a lot of local players getting ready, getting their decks prepared for this national season. As well as there's still a lot of hype around Dusk Till Dawn, because the closer we get to the set, the more anticipation is going to build of what's going to go down. We received all those recent spoilers from the Pro Tour. That's still just hyping the market. People are getting ready, anticipating what decks they might want to be playing, what cards they want to own, so they can be on top of the game for this upcoming set. Another huge thing that has happened was a ban and suspended announcement, which made some cards no longer suspended/banned, and those cards have moved the most. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this Market Monday and see what is going on. Starting in Welcome to Wraith, we see some huge changes, and yes, this is due to the banned and suspended announcement. Drone of Brutality is now legal in Blitz, so that card has had a resurgence in price because people are planning to play with this card because it's so good. Welcome to Wraith Unlimited jumping up around 850%. Last week it was sitting around 50 cents per card. Now you can go buy one for around $4.50. There's some decks that could be very potential, especially this Riptide deck that we just made a deck tech about. Go check it out. Link will be in the description. This might be maximizing Drone of Brutality's usefulness in Blitz. So one thing I always want to do every video is just look at the Fables, due to there's always such a small amount and scarce supply of these that their prices can jump pretty frequently. And I feel even if they're not moving that week, it's still a good idea just to check in on them to see where they're sitting. So let's start off with the Heart of Hyundai, the Welcome to Wraith one. Sitting at 468 for the cheapest one you can buy on TCG Player. We've seen the last sold on the 7th, which was yesterday. That was $484. So it looks like it's settling just under $500. We'll have to see if this drifts any lower. We see Teklo Core from Arcane Rising going up around 11.65% from $9.10 up to $10.16. What we can see going on here is Dash did win the calling, and so people who already don't own Dash cards might want to pick up the deck for their local armories and maybe even try it out for the Road to National season. Looking over at the Everfest, which has been on the move lately, crazily. On TCG Player, the last sold was on the 2nd at $595. Recently, there's no others been sold on TCG Player, but there might have been moved on different websites or Facebook, eBay, what have you. TCG has the cheapest one at $594, a couple under there. We'll see if this goes down any lower, but currently, people are holding strong. Looking over at Crucible of War, we do see Magnetic Shockwave going up around 9.5% from $11.20 up to $12.28. This is yet again a Dash staple where if you're playing Dash, you're looking to have this in your deck. Crucible of War also had Rattlebones making a move, going up 46.9%, which this card is a Runeblade powerhouse, where people are most likely speculating on the new Vincent hero, if this might be any good in it, so they want to pick up their copies now if it does tend to be a staple in that deck. Rattlebones went up from $5.46 all the way up to $8.99. That's a 46.9% increase. Now looking at the Arcanite chart, the last sold was on the 5th, which is about 3 days ago. That was for $470. Pretty good price if you ask me. Still expensive, still not something I'd want to spend a lot of money on myself personally. But most recent ones you can buy on TC is for $560, $560. So that's where it's sitting right now. Doesn't look like that's going to jump anytime soon unless you get a person that buys the last few copies at that price point. Jumping over to Monarch Unlimited, first let's talk about Soul Shield going up 58.7% from $8.65 up to $13.98. This is a light card that just blocks so efficiently. 2 resources, blocks for 6, goes into the soul. If you're a light hero that's looking to be a little defensive, this is a card you're going to want to have a play set up. Looking at the Great Library Solana, this one's been moving a lot lately with speculation and hype. We can tell in the last week We sold a rainbow foil for 400. There was a gold foil for $762, as well as an unlimited edition rainbow foil for $339. This card is sitting around the $340 mark, and if you're looking at getting one of those cold foils, it's going to cost you around $700. Looking over at that giant tree that is so glorious and pretty, cheapest one on TCG players for around $110. The last few sold have been cold foil at $190 and $200. There was that moderately played sold for $160. The last rainbow foil was on the 28th, which was about a week and a half ago at $130. So they are going down a little in the rainbow foil department. In the cold foils, about $199, so $200, sitting about where they were. Spellbound creepers have been creeping up in extreme prices lately. The most recent unlimited rainbow foil on the market is for $210, then $220. The last sold unlimited rainbow foil was for $200. Someone even bought one for $250 right here. Last cold foil sold for $270. Wow, this card is on the move. People are excited for the upcoming Rune Blades. Cheapest cold foil on the market right now is $265. We also see Shock Charmers driving up. This was sitting around $60 to $50. This one was for $80. The last one was sold was $80. Now the rainbow foils are around $93, $100, $100. Looking at a rainbow foil for that. Looking at the first edition cold foil, the last sold was for $115, and they're still on the market for about $115 for cold foils. Looking over at Everfest, Swarming Gloomveil going up 22.68% from $13.50 all the way up to $16.50. If you're playing Runeblade, you're most likely playing this card. Revel in Runeblood, Everfest, 40% increase from $6.88 up to $9.64. This is, yet again, a Runeblade card that people are most likely speculating with the new Vin set of why it might be good. Over in Everfest, we have that Grounder of Valhalla, a Guardian gem. Today, on this Monday, there has been a handful sold on TCG Player at $210 to $205. This card is going to be moving, I would imagine. Overlooking at Uprising, we have the Blood of Jakai, the little dragon gem that hasn't really gone too far. This is still sitting around $65. Last cold foil sold for $210. Currently $65, so $70 after shipping for the rainbow foil. Looking at the cold foils, $195, $205. Looking over on Dynasty, this is one of the most playable Fables out there, so it has a high demand. Last one sold was about a week and a half ago for $850. Currently, the cheapest one you can buy is $791, just shy of $800. Same with this other one. So this card might be moving down just a little unless we see some resurgence of people wanting to buy their copies, especially their play set if they're really trying to bling out their deck. Looking over in Dynasty, we also see Shariah Archangel of Knowledge. The Marvel is super expensive. The last one sold was on the 5th for $500. Now the Marvel is sitting around $825 for a couple of them. Then it shoots up to $1,000, $1,500, $1,500. This card has a huge jump. People are excited for the Angels in this upcoming set. Celestial Kimono, the Marvel, has been on the move as well in this last week and a half or so. The last few sold was $108 and then $70, then $110 and then $90. Currently, this card has 3 left on TCG Player for $150, $150, then $300. People are just also building up some Illusionist hype, getting excited. They want to bling out their deck. As well as Invoke Shariah, just a regular rainbow foil is going to cost about $75 on TCG Player. The last few sold have been for $78, $77, $83. That's crazy. Looking over at the cold foils, those are going to run you about $200, $230. See what the last sold cold foil was. It was for $140 on the 5th. Then looking at the newest Fable, Plague Hive from Outsiders. The last few sold, there's been a good handful sold in this last week at rainbow foils for around $146, $149, basically $150. It's a playable card in Assassin that's like a sideboard insert and matchup, so we could see people playing with it. Looking at the market, it's still sitting around the $146 mark. Looking at the cold foils, if I remember right, those went up crazy in the last week, and they're still super expensive. Cheapest one on the market is for $500. The most recent cold foil that sold was on the 3rd for $456. Expensive cold foil. Ouch. That's where things are looking at this moment in the market. Thank you so much for watching. If you think I missed any cards or there's other things moving that I did not catch, comment it down below so other people know all about it. or if there's anything else you want to comment that you think I could do better. Feedback, I appreciate it greatly. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that jazz. Seriously, if you're not subscribed right now is the time to do so, because then you're informed and you stay in the know, because every Monday I'll be making a Market Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.